Hey guys, today we're diving into the world of dark and light themes. Imagine this: you're coding late at night, your eyes straining against the bright white screen, or maybe you're working in a dim lit coffee shop squinting to see your code. Well, fear not. Dark and light themes are here to save the day. By offering users the choice to switch between these themes, we can create a more comfortable and personalized browsing experience. In this video, we're diving deep into creating a fully customizable dark mode experience using only HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. No libraries or frameworks required. We will build a simple yet powerful single page application that offers three theme options: light, dark, and system default. By the end of this tutorial, you will have the skills to implement a seamless theme switching feature in any web project you undertake. Alright, first let's code up the HTML. This is the default boilerplate. It has a meta card set, a viewport, and a shortcut icon. Now let's give it a title, implement a dark mode easily, and a description. This thing, meta color scheme, is required because it tells the user agent style sheets to, such as the scroll bar or the default buttons, to adapt to the dark or light themes. And I'm using normalize.css. You can get this from a CDN. I will link this in the description below. And then we have a style sheet and a script. Now we have a navigation. This is just a simple navigation, it doesn't add functionality. Now we have in our main section, giving it a h1. Look, I'm gonna comment out the styles right now, just for a moment. And then after our heading, we're gonna have a select or a select thing, which has three options: light, dark, and system. So that here we can see dark or system. These aren't functional right now, but we will add the CSS and the JS. Next up, we have a simple paragraph and another paragraph, a button, so that we can see how the default elements change with the CSS. And then we have an image, some more text. This is just filler content. Alright. This is our HTML done. Now let's add the CSS. First of all, I'm gonna import a custom font from Google Fonts. I'm gonna import inter fonts.google.com. Search for inter. Static font inter, search for inter, and I'm gonna use this. I'm simply gonna embed this in my CSS using import option, this thing here goes here. And now let's declare some variables. I'm declaring the variable in the root selector. This is the same as HTML. It just means this thing, HTML tag, root means. And we're gonna create a variables. First, background color of white, text color of black, and a font weight of 500. and a color scheme light dark. This is same as this tag meta color scheme dark and light. You can use it in the CSS as well. And next, I'm using an attribute selector of data theme. This attribute selector is present here on the HTML tag, HTML data theme system. If you don't know about what data theme means, HTML allows us to set any kind of property on a tag, but all of them have to be prefixed with data. And we can put it here, say something. And now if we inspect our page, we can see that say our HTML as a data theme is equal to something here. So I'm gonna remove it. I'm selecting if the HTML has data theme of light, like the default one. I'm gonna give it certain styles here of color scheme only light. This tells the user agent style sheet that only provide light themed buttons or scroll bars or any other elements, like in the select option. I'm going to give it text color of black and a background color of white, and then I'm going to give some styles to the image. And now I'm selecting data theme is dark. This is the same as this thing, but instead of light it is dark. And when the HTML tag as dark as the data theme, I'm going to give background color of hashtag 121212, the text color of white, and a color scheme of only dark. This only dark specifies the user agent style sheet to provide dark colored themes, such as for the button or the default scroll bar. And now font weight 400. Usually in dark theme the text appears a little bigger, so that to negate that, I'm using a lighter font weight. And it is not recommended to show images directly as they are in dark mode, so I'm giving it a sub filter. This makes the images look better. Image over opacity of 1. And also, when I'm using a media query, when the default system theme is dark, I'm giving everything same as this dark theme. The images as well, same as above. Now for the body, I'm gonna use background color of variable, background color, color of text color, and a font family of inter. I'm specifying this is the font family we imported from Google Fonts, and the rest is system UI, Apple system, something like that. I'm gonna transition. When the background color changes on this page, I'm giving it a transition so that it looks smoother. Red image of map. See, it looks already much better now. With we have used the inter font on our page, and all the styles are working as well. And I'm gonna style this select option. Select, give some padding and a cursor and pointer and some border radius. And then for the nav, instead of this, I'm gonna style this nav a little. There you go. Now it looks much better. And then I'm gonna give the main a padding of 20 pixels. And then I want to decrease the margin a bit because this is just too much. And then for the button, I'm giving a margin. And for the larger tablets and laptop things, I'm going to increase the padding and make the image a little bit wider. And that's it for the CSS. Now our page looks much better. Right, let's add some JavaScript or code. First of all, I'm going to be selecting this select element using document.querySelect. Then I'm also selecting the root element using document element. This is same as the HTML element, the main HTML element. Then I'm gonna give an event listener to this select option. Whenever it changes, I wanna do something. So whenever the option changes, I'm getting the selected theme from the value, which are here. Three values are light, dark, and system. And I'm setting the root elements data theme as the system theme, this attribute, and now our dark theme works. See, light, dark. The system is currently in light mode, that's why it's light. Okay, but here's the thing, if you select it dark and if I refresh it, it goes back to system. This is because system is the default option of the data theme. Let's add persistent to this so that when the dark mode is selected, if I refresh it, it stays in the dark mode. For this, I'm going to use local storage. First of all, I'm going to set the selected theme in the local storage under the name theme. And I'm going to get that if there is already an item called theme in the local storage, I'm getting that in the default theme. Now, if there is a default theme, I'm setting the root elements data theme as that theme instead of system, and I'm also changing the select option to be the default theme. Now, if there isn't a default theme, what I'm going to do is I'm going to set it programmatically. If the preferred start scheme is selected here, preferred start scheme dark, I'm going to change the root elements data set to be dark, as well as I'm setting it in the local storage, and I'm also changing the themes. I'm also changing the themes option to dark. Now, if it is, this is the same as above, but what happens if the preferred color scheme light is matched? System, yeah, similar. And finally, if preferred color scheme no emulation is selected, neither dark nor light, I'm setting the data theme to be system. I'm setting the HTML elements data theme to be system and setting it in the local storage as well. And I'm also changing the value to be system. That's it. Now, if you see now local storage, let me just clear it out. And if I refresh it, I'm getting theme of light. Now, if I select a dark theme, see in the local storage it changed to dark, and now it persists even if we refresh. And for the system theme, same as the system. Now, if I select prefer color scheme dark, the system theme will change to dark, and even if I refresh it, it stays like that. So that's about the JavaScript for this code. Let's actually change it to no emulation. And now we got our themes working. Notice that the text, I notice that whenever in the dark mode, either before color scheme dark or in the dark mode, I'm setting the text font weight to 400. This is important because naturally white text on a dark background appears much thicker than dark text on a white background. And I also want to show you guys why we added color scheme property. Now look at the nav bar. Now look at the scrolling bar and this button. I'm not changing any of the styles here in my CSS. I'm just using color scheme to be that. Now when I set it to dark, the button automatically changes color, and the scroll bar also automatically changes color. And when I go back to light, the button and the scroll bar automatically change their colors. So once again, to recap, we are adding an event listener on the select element, and when we select an option, we are changing the HTML tags data theme system to be data theme dark, which triggers this part of the CSS, and the variables change. So, and now since our body is using the same variables, the theme changes as well. And finally, we have added persistence using local storage. Now even if you refresh it, it still stays the same. And there you have it. By following these steps, you can easily implement dark and light themes on your website. Remember, a well-designed theme can significantly enhance user experience and make your website more accessible. So go ahead and give it a try. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions or if you would like to share your own dark and light theme implementations.